Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Coach Prime does it again on the 2024 trail and lands his quarterback in that 2024 class in Danny O'Neal, beating out a lot of SEC programs, a lot of Big Ten programs for a top 30 quarterback in the 2024 class. Before we get into talk a little bit about how this 2024 class is shaking out for Colorado and Coach Prime, I just want to say thank you for you guys. Like, all the support you guys have shown as we talk Coach Prime has been absolutely awesome. It is by far the coolest story heading into the 2023 season, and there's been a ton of support from you guys. So if you guys do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Just started our prep for the spring preview of Colorado. A lot of new names on this roster, a lot to talk about. So stay tuned for that as well. And again, all the support you guys have shown truly does mean a lot. Let's get into Danny O'Neal, and then we'll take a look at this 2024 class and how it's coming together. So Danny O'Neal, again, a lot of Big Ten schools wanted this kid. A lot of SEC schools wanted this kid. Kentucky thought to be kind of the leader in the clubhouse for his recruitment. Coach Prime, Sean Lewis come in and swoop him up. And that's one thing that I kind of want to touch on. There's been a lot of talking, and Coach Prime, obviously a phenomenal hire for Colorado. But what I think is even more special about this transition is Coach Prime and Deion Sanders has done a really good job of bringing in a lot of good assistants around him. I mean, Sean Lewis snatches him from a head coaching position to become his offensive coordinator at Colorado. Very, very good offensive-minded head coach, but also a phenomenal recruiter. And so as Coach Prime makes this transition to Power 5 football, he's surrounding himself with a lot of good assistant coaches that are not only helping with the on-field coaching and development, but also really, really good recruiters on the recruiting trail. Obviously, he was the primary recruiter for Danny O'Neal. And this is a very, very big get. Now, a couple of things that you'll love for Danny O'Neal is one, 24-3 as a starter. He's a winner. And the second thing, over 40 touchdowns this sophomore year and his junior year. His sophomore year, he only turned the ball over twice. He only threw 2 interceptions. And for as much kind of flash and hype Coach Prime brings to his to this locker room at Colorado, he also preaches discipline. If you watch the Well-Off Media, I've been addicted to the Well-Off Media. His son runs. Like, you get really good insight into how this Colorado football program is running. As much like hype there is around Coach Prime, he's also like very adamant on playing disciplined football. And Danny O'Neal, that's no doubt something they really liked when you look at his high school film. He does not turn the ball over. For a sophomore to only turn the ball over 2 times playing varsity football, those are some big time numbers. And there's no doubt in my mind that's something Coach Prime really took a look at. Now we're going to take a look at Danny O'Neal's huddle. There's a lot to like about Danny O'Neal. I wouldn't say he's the flashiest quarterback you'll ever see, but he's very accurate. He makes good decisions, looks off the route, and then just putting the ball right where it needs to be. And he's a quarterback that if you surround him with enough talent, he's going to be really good because he just hits people in stride and lets his athletes around there do the rest of the work. But the big thing that he has the arm to make all the throws that you're going to want him to make, but he's also extremely accurate. He's an a college-ready quarterback in terms of pocket presence, in terms of accuracy. So there's a lot to like, and you see a little boogie from him too. He can extend plays as well, and that's no doubt something that Sean Lewis has valued during his head coaching time, and it's something that no doubt Coach Prime values. So we're not going to go over Danny O'Neal highlights, but I think you're getting a sneaky, very good quarterback. And then taking a look at this 2024 class, 5 commits now adding Danny O'Neal. Omar White, a top 150 player national. I do think he's gone through some legal troubles, but the highlight I want to make is snatching guys from SEC programs. That is not something we're used to saying for Colorado. And you even look at the 2023 class, Kermani McClain, stealing them from Florida and Miami. Dylan Edwards, a longtime commit to Notre Dame. Colorado comes in late and lands him. And then in this 2024 class, Omar White, offers from almost every single SEC school. Colorado comes in, lands that one. And Jujuan Johnson, one of the best players from the state of Louisiana. LSU normally eats those guys up. Colorado gets his commitment as well. He's a very exciting player. I'm extremely excited about what Jujuan Johnson in the 2024 class is going to do. Pretty much the best athlete on the field, plays quarterback a lot for them as well. This is really exciting. And again, you look at where this Colorado team is trending, especially from a talent acquisition. They did a phenomenal job in the transfer portal. But what's really exciting is there are a ton of big name recruits coming on campus to Colorado. That is not something a couple of weeks ago we covered who they had coming on to their campus during junior day. It's a beautiful campus. Once you get around Coach Prime and that culture, no doubt it's infectious. This is not something we're used to with this Colorado program in the last 10 years. Getting 4 5-star top 50 players nationally to come and take official visits to Colorado, put them in their top 5. You're seeing the tide start to change in terms of how talented this roster is going to be. And I think this first year, and that's, we kind of been saying this first year for Coach Prime at Colorado is going to be important. I think it's as important as any other first year head coach in terms of, if you want to get these top 100 players to commit to Colorado, to come to Colorado, you got to show that you're turning this program around. I think that's why they attacked the transfer portal so aggressively, because quite frankly, Coach Prime could be the best on-field coach there ever was. It was going to be really hard to win games with the roster they had in 2022. So Coach Prime takes a look at that roster and just attacks the transfer portal with a ton of guys who were either high-level Power 5 starters or even some group of 5 guys that are going to come in and be high-level Power 5 starters. You're seeing him put a lot of emphasis on winning in 2023. And once players, I think, start seeing Colorado change and see the proof of Coach Prime working, I think it's going to be a lot easier to get those guys optimistic about Colorado being a powerhouse at the Power 5 level, excuse me. And so if you start seeing, and I'm not even asking for, I don't need a college football playoff appearance, but more competitive on the field, a 6-6, a 7-5 record, you see the massive turnaround Colorado could have in 2023. It's going to be a lot easier to convince some of those guys in the 2024 class as they're winding down their recruiting process to come to Colorado, join what Coach Prime is doing. You saw Danny O'Neil. What did he say as he announced his commitment? It was the people within the program that got him to commit. I think that stands true for a lot of these kids who are in that 2024 class. Once you get on campus, you get around all the personnel, you get around Coach Prime and the players, it's something that's infectious. I think it's working. And the more visits he can get from these top players, the more opportunities he can have to kind of show them what this Colorado football program can do and what it's going to be in the future. I'm really optimistic about how much talent Colorado can get. And when you're looking at 3 years down the road, this is a team that I think from a talent standpoint is going to look a lot different. From a swagger standpoint, I think it's going to look a lot different. Extremely excited about where Colorado is going. You guys know that. And again, before we I wanted to just do a quick update on the 2024 class, and landing a quarterback in that class is always big, especially to do it early. So again, appreciate you guys for checking us out. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and then stay tuned because we're running that spring preview. That's going to be the most exciting spring preview there is. I mean, so many new faces in this program. Coach Prime is making them earn their numbers. Very exciting. We're going to recap the spring game as well as it's on ESPN. And even like Deion Sanders saying that Tom Brady is going to come up and work with them. Like, in terms of recruiting quarterbacks, you can get Tom Brady in the building to kind of mentor some of your young quarterbacks. That's massive. That's probably the strongest selling point you can have for that quarterback position. So a very exciting program to talk about. We're going to continue to talk about it. Take a look at this 2023 roster, how it's going to shake out, some positions that you think they'll address in that transfer portal that opens up in May. Appreciate you guys for checking us out again. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate all the support, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.